Hi, Dorothea Hendriks here, your coach in presentation skills and public speaking. Today, some suggestions, a few tips on what you can do when you lose your audience. How do you get their attention back? We don't want it to happen, but you know what? It happens. It happens where sometimes how we've organized our content or the delivery that we're doing, or it might have nothing to do with us. Something out there is happening, or something in the room, an external noise, discomfort over which we have no control. So we can't do anything about that, but what we can do is we can take care of our delivery, we can restructure our content, and we can do something regarding the energy in the room and get that attention back. Because as the presenter, as a speaker, the essence of the energy and the essence of what the audience will take away rests with you, the speaker, the presenter. So what are some of the things that you can do? Number one, have a group discussion. Toss out a question regarding a point that you just finished talking about. How does this point relate to what they're doing in their work right now? How will they implement, what you just talked about? What is an experience that they want to share? Share your own experience as a speaker, as a presenter, or share a story that shows the relevance of what you just finished talking about, or get a story from the audience. Anytime you're asking the audience again, it means that you have to have a very clear idea of what you're going to ask and a clear idea of how you're going to stop that person in the audience from talking in case they go on too long, and then come back and continue with your presentation. So it means preparation. When you do this, when you're asking for a group discussion, preparation at your end, at the presenter's end. The other thing that you can do is have breakout sessions. So instead of having one big group discussion, you can have a number of smaller group discussions. I actually like smaller group discussions so much better because you get a real difference sometimes of how people view the points that you're talking about. And of course, when you've got these different groups, at the end, when you want to have a round robin and get feedback from each of the groups on what their feeling was about the point you discussed or about the presentation so far, the topic discussed so far, of course, they're going to choose a group speaker, a speaker from each group. And this is sometimes where I find you can have the most fun with people. Because how they choose the speaker, well, they're going to choose maybe the person who's got the most colorful socks, the most colorful shoes, or no shoes, or the most jewelry, or the most jewelry on their hands, in their ears, or travel the furthest distance. Whatever it is, when they do that, it gets them laughing, shifts the energy around, gets a different kind of engagement. And then once you've done the round robin, then again, because you're skilled at this, you'll bring it all back, tie in what they've suggested into your presentation and move forward with your presentation. Never ever ask for feedback. Never ever get groups working on something and get the conclusion from each group and then just drop it and never incorporate it. You have to incorporate it some way in which to make sure that they feel their contribution has been valued. Number three is props. Having props. Now, I love props. I don't use them all that often, but I love props and I admire people who are incredibly skilled at using props. What props do is not only do they capture attention, they also make a point more memorable. Now, there are a few people who can pick up anything at any time and incorporate it into their presentation really skillfully. For many of us, though, we have to have a couple of props in mind, practice with them, know how we're going to bring them into a presentation, know how they're going to add value to our point, and use them skillfully and seamlessly. And for most people, this requires practice in advance. It's like working with slides. You want to use them seamlessly. The big thing about props, the wonderful things about props is they add a different dynamic, and move people away from that predictable slide after slide after slide. So think about incorporating props. Number 4, instead of having the question and answer session at the end, and mercy, it drives me crazy when I hear people having a Q&A at the end and then finishing off their talk. What do you want to leave your audience with? a Q&A, questions that people ask or that you couldn't answer or somebody stumbled over. No, you want to leave your audience with your message and a call to action. So don't have a Q&A at the end, but what you can do is you can do an impromptu Q&A when you're a third of the way through your presentation or halfway through your presentation. Just remember to keep a tight control on your time. But it also changes the dynamic and gets people involved if they've just been sitting there listening to you go on and on and on, slide after slide after slide. So impromptu Q&A, great idea. And that's number 4. And number 5, share your presentation with another person. Sometimes this can work wonderfully well. I've had occasions where I've shared my presentation with another gal when we've been doing public speaking workshops. I love it. It's great because we have different personalities, different styles, and the audience just gets a chance to participate in one, participate in another, and some people in the audience will, have more appeal, like that particular presentation better than another presentation. But the whole dynamic, it adds to the dynamics, and you still get the information out there, and it's fun. Now, maybe you don't start or haven't partnered up with somebody at the get-go, but during the break and as you're speaking out, you see in your audience, there's somebody that you know and somebody that you've worked with or you've seen in your audience before and you've built a bit of a rapport. Well, ask during the break if that person would mind coming up, sharing some of their experiences, talking about how they can take what you've talked about earlier and bring it back to their team, how they've incorporated what you've mentioned in your workshops before and how they felt it's worked and, done wonders. It can be a bit tricky, but if you can get it to work and you have a really good rapport with the other person, it can work wonders. Real dynamics, and the audience knows that you're actually taking somebody that was from their group and moving that person now to help augment your own presentation. The last thing that I want to mention here is having a little bag, a paper bag full of little activities. Never underestimate the value of a 30-second, 60-second, 2-minute activity, what it can do and how it can help open up group dynamics in any presentation, in anything that you're doing, any seminar. And when you're doing this, when you pick up these activities, I think some of them are called jolts, or they're just a matter of minutes, a few minutes long. But what they do is they change the dynamic. But anytime you're going to introduce one, make sure you give your audience a heads up. Now, this applies to any time you're going to change anything in your presentation. Let the audience know right now we're just going to take a shift. We're going to go and try something different because let them know what you're going to be doing, why you're going to be doing it, and then come back into moving into the rest of your presentation. And when you're giving instructions on an activity as an example, make sure you do it with enthusiasm and make sure you give the instructions clearly, step by step by step by step, so that people can get a handle on it immediately and then get into the activity. So those are six suggestions for bringing the audience back when you think you've lost them. Are there more? There are so many ideas out there. Put on your creative thinking hat and come up with a few. Check around. The idea here is to keep your audience on the edge of their seats when you're giving a presentation. Keep their attention on you, keep their attention on what you're talking about, walk away with your message and your call to action. Hey, if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hey, hit the button below. Please hit the button below. Love to have you come on board. Until next time, this is Dorothea Hendriks wishing you mountains of success.